Hello, hello, hello. Come on in the room and chat with Pap. I took a nap. I had a nap. Oh, I had a nap. I've been out riding the bike, girl. It whooped my butt. I'm like, let me get a nap. Oh, and a hot shower after that, honey. But I rode my bike today. And it felt good, girl. I was like, oh, Lord, my thighs going up those hills. Honey, shift gears, shift gears. Go into the light mode, go into the light mode. How are you? How you doing? I'm going to get back up in a minute. I'm like, oh, I had to rest. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? Yeah, it's nice out, but yeah, it's kind of hot, but I got on the bike today. Felt good, girl. Oh, yeah, it was hot. And so I had my sweat vest on and everything. So we kind of rode. We rode about an hour. About an hour. Yeah, somewhere around there. So I can get back used to riding on it. But baby, I was like, no, we got to go around. That's a hill right there. There's a hill. Harlan, what you been up to? You been catching up, checking in on all of the opinionated people on that Mark Carmelo's case, girl. It's pretty hot out there. And it's a whole lot of people that has something to say. Did you catch what was that, Charleston White? I guess now he wants off the case. 30 people watching. Come in the chat. Come in the chat. Hi, Meg. Girl, I rode the bike today. I rode the bike today. Want to see my bike? You walk the track early, clean, and doing laundry. I'm going to do the laundry and the other stuff. That's tomorrow. Today, no. So, but I have been out riding and enjoying that, cleaning up the backyard from the storm. You want to see the bike? You're so silly. Let me see if I can. It'll make me get up so you can see the bike. Oh, the backyard's still a little junky because I had to take a rest, honey. But I've been up. Well, we've been up. See, getting this tar down. See, getting that in my truck in the back. So it's got this stuff down so so the kids can stop tripping over the hole. See, so I got that down. Started on that today. So, ta-da! So I've been on my bike. Oh no, yeah, tomorrow I will see my bike. So we've been out, girl. I'm like, listen, an hour is enough, honey. So now I'm like, okay, I gotta take about a half an hour nap. But then I had the TV on, and I started hearing things in my nap time, sleep. So I woke up. I see we've been working on this, man. So I got filling this in, cause Keandre keeps tripping in here. So I got filling all of this in. So I gotta get it. It's still kind of wet, but I gotta get it mushed down up in there some more. So got all my weeds and stuff kind of up. I'll get back to that stuff over there a little bit later, honey. But I had to get those trees, branches up out of the yard. So, but it was nice, girl, till we got not the hill. So now I'm waiting for uh downhill. So well, you know I like it hot, so it don't bother me. But right now I'm inside under the air and relaxing. But that's I was close my eyes and stuff after my shower. And I'm back on camera. I like being on camera. Hold on, my little ugly butt be on camera, girl. Hair soaking wet. So it was relaxing. It was really nice out. So we took the little bikes out and had a good time on them, though. Harlem say tomorrow is her day to relax. I switched it up because normally it is in that order. But now I'm like, let me get this done because I haven't checked the weather and we've been getting a lot of rain up here. I see the tornadoes touching down over there with Washington, D.C., and then Baltimore and all of those. California, girl, I seen one rip through California so bad, baby. Can you imagine that? One couple came on was talking about there's a brand new house. They had just got a brand new house. Girl, and they just ripped it down. Ripped it apart. How I don't know if it was a 5 point something or something like that. 100 and what did it say? 130 something, close to that miles per hour. Now we had the storms here, and the winds got up to about 80. And yeah, I had a few branches come down off that tree over there, and eventually I'm gonna get that tree down. But if it keeps storming and taking the branches down piece by piece, then I won't have to pay to get it down. Oh, girl, we talking about $2,000 getting that tree down. And I'm like, oh, just fall branch by branch. Then eventually I wouldn't have to do so. Serena, what's on your agenda today? What's on your agenda? I was looking at the camera. So, but baby, I'm just listening to everybody in their debates and opinions on this Carmela case. And it's going to take some time. I heard Charleston White say that he's not helping finance the appeal anymore. You say not much have meatballs and crack. Crack. That says meatballs and crack. What crack? You like meatballs? You know what? I've never made meatballs ever, ever. Oh, you in the crock pot? I was like, girl, what? Be telling me you there on having some meatballs and some crack. Good meatballs and crack. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's crazy, right? I see Niecy Mo taking a hit out there. You know, she taking a she taking a hit, but I know it was a typo, girl. Eh, I just like messing around with you. Yeah, Niecy Mo taking a hit. Bookham, he got the answers and then figured out his opinions and some of the videos that he saw. I listened to one of the ladies who says that she actually saw the videos from the school district. Those videos were not allowed in that courtroom. That was crazy. Hi, Mr. McWell. How you doing, love? Do you see your inspirational quotes are working on me? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? I just want you to notice that, Sir McWell. And I know how to say your name. You haven't had a problem with how I say your name. So I say Sir McWell. I pronounce the U. I like using the U in your name, Sir McWell. Take the U out and I'll say Sir Miguel. But right now, there's a U there. And it's pronunciated as Guel. Guel, not Gel. Gel. I be over here. But I just want to let you know they're working. As long as I keep reading them and I listen to my early little morning shows. Thank you. Appreciate it. Jeez. I would just prefer if the person name that I am saying and it's if it's incorrect, I would prefer that person to address me. That's all. And I'm looking like, excuse me, excuse me, move around. I'm done. That's what I be on. I'm done. No energy. Goodbye. So that's. I just had to laugh at that though, Sir Miguel. Thank you for popping in and showing me a little love over here. But yeah, I'm trying to just keeping up with this humongous case, that everybody is having their opinions on, and it's it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of more bigger cases out there than the one that just ended. I do hope that it will end with finding some discrepancies and some corruption if it was done within that judge and those DAs would come to light. I That's because she talks too much untruths. One pat be love. We have meatballs. We have meatball subs. What? What do you think about Ticket TV? You went looking for the documents, but I guess it's Pacer and I'm not paying. Well, the transcript reading, I think you can find that on, I got to remember her name. It's like Sheba something. It's in my history. You can hear the entire transcript from that page. And Ticket TV, I do not, I don't know if he's getting them from Pacer. It sounds like there was another female that found all of this information. Hey, K baby. Yes, I think that's her name. If it's not Sheba, I'm going to find it. I may go through a little bit of my history so I could message you the correct channel that read the entire transcript. But the Ticket TV um, is I think that he said that, he got all of that stuff sent to him from a personal friend or something, and that they had hidden it so well, but they did a really deep diving search for it. And that's how they found all of that information about the district attorneys and the judge on those lawsuits that they had against them from some white women doing provocative behavior. So, yeah. Hi, Jason. Yeah, he's saying the medical documents were filed but not used, and that's not good. The medical documents for Austin, you know, yeah, I'm hearing from, different, some more channels about how those twins are Carmelo. Oh. You talking about there would have been medical documents aligning to the allegations of, I'm saying allegations, of where it is presumably said out here that he was jumped by these individuals? Well, Jason, you can get up and go out there and start you a whole campaign or organization and go get Kelly out. See, and that's the problem, Jason. Typing stuff is way easier than putting in the action for it. Because you'll sit and say, we need to do it, or we won't. Get up and go do it. That's the only thing that, Jason, just irritates me, sometimes with people. It's always what the other person needs to go do. The other person needs to go do. Get up and go start something. Don't wait for it. Get up and go start it. That's all it takes. Get up there. If you have the information for R. Kelly's freedom, do what you got to do. He's saying that he suffered from epilepsy and has seizures, and that was supposed to be used. I have to do some research. And I watched another big debate, think for a little bit last night. And they discussed that, Harlem. They discussed how there was not enough um, professional people taking a stand that would have um, I got a brain fart, that would have worked in Carmelo's favor. Probably there was, no special doctors up there. There was no special um, scientists up there that review this utility knife, and a lot of stuff just wasn't questioned behind what the district attorney did with those young boys on that stand. It was just not enough done, and that's what I think a lot of arguing is about out here. Whereas they pointing out the fact that it was a unfair trial. So, and I guess I can see that too. It's like wait a minute, like the other day I mentioned about the video, and we all know that in an event like that, it's phones out everywhere. But yet then they have Eddie's phone, the defense, so they were able to show where it would appear that they were some type of friends. There was some friendship stuff going on. He's been to his home. They're out over here. They're doing that. But what did Eddie do? Get up there and turn the story as if like he never met Carmelo. It's a good thing that they did catch that lie, but that still wasn't enough. They needed the forensic to pull these phones, especially the one after the police officer went with his own testimony on the stand, saying that he he checked his phone. There was no video there. Well, there is a thing that's called deletion. We can delete it right there in a matter of a second for the person whom you are speaking with and looking through your phone. But whatever happened to, there is no deletion when it comes to Homeland Security or FBI or whatever that needs to get inside of your phone. They can pull it. So I don't understand that part. I don't understand why there was no defense that did their further researching into this boy's phone. I don't understand that. I don't know how that got left right there. What do you mean? Delete. Okay, well, why didn't they have, the defense didn't have anybody to put on the stand to, um, or did they? Or did they go through the phone thoroughly and pull anything? Because there was no objection of that. And that was crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I think that if you hit the like button up there, so then it will flip to 9, then I will. I will. Hi, Cleo. How are you? How you doing today? Daniel, how you doing today? Echo, how you doing today? There, I just shouted you out. Yeah. So, but he says that, he had priorities. The judge Roach had priorities. Daniel, he had priority. Yeah, I know. My trolls, they love some papoose. You're welcome, Echo. They love some papoose. They love some papoose, girl. So, but they were out there saying that they they believe that the twins girl was like on some steroids, honey. I was like, oh Lord, oh Lord. Mm. Yeah, I like my trolls. Don't y'all be hating on my trolls now. Don't do that. hmm Yeah, you can subscribe. You over 18. You gotta be over 18. Cause I talk, I sometimes use profanity and talk crazy sometimes. So YouTube has really been on me about making sure that my channel is adult, is mentioned as it's for adults. Okay, so you should be good, even though you could tell me anything. But I already got that, so can't nothing happen. I'm screenshotting that you said that you was 22. Now I'm screenshotting it right now with my other phone. As long as you're a good troll, because like I said, I use profanity. I will cuss you out. I will get dirty. I will get ugly. I will get crazy. I will unhumble myself. So yes, as long as you cool and you like to laugh and kick it and stuff, of course you can subscribe. But you get dirty, Echo, I'ma get dirty right with you. Dirty, dirty. I roll in the mud, boy. You just getting a good quiet papoose right now. I'm just relaxing and talking to my internet buddies, my girls. That's all. I was just checking on them, and we're just catching up on some of the stuff that's out here on the YouTube streets. Okay, bye. See you later. Have a good day. Have a good day. So I don't know, Harlem. Do you see anything, any changes of see, he was nice. My troll, he was really, come on now, he was nice. Look how nice he was. So did you catch the one lady that came on and talked about what she saw in the video from the school district? And she also said that the school district at first lied about there was no video, but then they kept pondering them, and finally they were releasing or allowing them to come in to see the video. Yeah, you saw her. So what do you think? You think that there was some truth to that? And now I it aligned with the other guy. It aligned with the other guy that came on first and was giving the details of these guys, walking over to the tent and how they pyramided him in and pinned him in and all of that stuff. Now, the other guy, well, the Hunter, that's the one that got me. Hunter was like, and then he died in my arms, and I was there, and I was holding him, and I was doing this. And when you hear everybody else explain it, that wasn't true. I mean, that went against what he was saying, just wasn't there. So I don't know. Now, if there was clarity and more visual to these people who got permission to come in to see those videos, uh, we know that that is something that should be preserved, right? For um, introduction into his appeal. I think he might have a plus there, showing it was self-defense. With self-defense. Now, with Judge Roach getting ready to retire in probably less than 6 months here, and who knows, this appeal might take this long or whatever. Now, let's just say that he is retired. So, what would happen? Like they would bring charges up on him, or would they just I don't know, because he would be gone. I don't know. You say, hello, TSW. How you doing, sweetheart? You say, why was Hunter allowed to pay a fine to bypass taking the stand? I think a question can be elevated from that. Uh, based on a lot of the information that has been put out here, they were suspended. Uh, they were not running that day. So why was it that they were permitted to be underneath the tent? I don't know. How you doing, Household Spell Mark? YouTube trash for allowing bots. God bless you too. And anybody who sees this message, I'm live also, but I'm in YouTube jail. Why are you in YouTube jail? What you do? Because of the hackers? The hackers got you in YouTube jail. How long you gonna be locked up? How long you gonna be down? It's with like 30 days. You're down for 30 days. So when I heard that TSW, that they had been suspended, then I'm seeing this message from I think it's Facebook or whatever, where they were, you know, picking at some girls, calling them FBs, or they can be bisexual and things like that. Here's my problem, TSW, because I know good God darn well that the main media is seeing all of this. I know if what that young lady and then the first guy who came out and was giving the details about Carmelo being pinned in, right? And there's an actual video from the school district that shows way more clarity than what they provided to the juror in the trial. I'm not understanding why the main media, right, has not gotten access to that to show it nationwide. I don't, I can't grab that. You mean to tell me that they are deliberately, especially that, oh, what's that lady name? Her last name is Kelly. I'm not a fan of her because I've watched her, do a lot of her content on politics. And there was a lot that she would be saying that I didn't agree with. So I had determined that, okay, wait a minute. I think she just in this for the money. Megan Kelly, girl, honey, now she talking about a freaking lawsuit, and her and the other lady that was on there is a lawsuit, and why? I don't understand people that chooses to file lawsuits that talk a lot of shit too. I just don't. I don't agree with that. If you gonna talk shit, and if you're going to be out here expressing your opinions and based on whatever a content is about or whatever, then rightfully so, people have, in my opinion, the right to address what the hell you're talking about. But the minute that you don't like what they say or it don't fit what they want to sue you. They want to sue you. And I out of all of the social media content creators, right? She is on the top of my list if that video is preserved and the clarity clearly the visual of it clearly shows that there was bullying going on. I I want her to eat all her words. I really do. Cause she been going in. But you look at her views too, right? She's getting paid too. It's some people, like I say, will do it definitely for the money and don't give a rat's ass. Just do it for the money. So the minute that um the speaker for the Anthony's, the black guy who's been out there. I forget what organization he belongs to, right? But the minute he comes back and went to say a few things to Megan Kelly, and she didn't like what he was saying. She became the victim like that. She switched all of that up. I mean, she switched up her whole dance, and honey, I was like, yeah. So it's like I can say whatever I want to you or about you or around you, but the minute you come and step in her backyard, oh, you harassing her, or you're this, or she became victim. She turned herself to I was like, look at this shit here. But hopefully, since quite a few people got in to see this video from the school district down there, maybe that will be a nail in the coffin to help him in his in a new trial. Help him in a new trial. As I do believe, I've seen so many people, agreeing that okay, let's do manslaughter. Manslaughter is considered reckless. So there's still a lot of things that can be put on the table, right, to justify that Carmelo was being bullied. They were saying things. He had the right to defend himself. But at the same time, what decision still needs to be made based on a utility cutter used to take a life? We can establish this. We can establish this side 100% if that video is correct. That can be established. Yeah, they did this shit here. But we also have to establish some consequences for taking the knife. I truly was over here like, okay, let's do manslaughter. Let's stick this out to 3 to 5, 3 to 5. So that way, I think that the case itself would have satisfied, in my opinion, both sides. The bullying, those boys did that, uh, according to the videotape. So therefore, they have to take some consequences as well. The utility knife that was used where someone died in this altercation, then Carmelo Anthony would have to take some consequences as well, face some consequences as well. I would have never, I'm going to tell you that, sat on no damn jury. It'd have been hung. It'd have been hung, 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 hung. And guess what? Even if I was, I'd have been fired if I would have been down there working as a district attorney. Because there's no way in the hell that a job would have ever been ahead of what my values and my morals are, because someone is intimidating me to go against that. You can have this job. I would have told that judge or whoever else is about, y'all can have this shit. You don't have to put another dummy up in there because something ain't right. Them is a channel, a debating channel going on last night, right? They kind of got sidetracked a little bit, so every now and then I'll step away from it. But for the most part, one main argument that I like that they had, the video that was shown to this juror, and the minute that they start bringing up how blurry everything was, and then that they couldn't show it in 4K, that should have been, there is no evidence. We don't have any evidence. I'm sorry. That would have ended that. What do you want to do? Now we want to run a trial on hearsay? Well, not technically hearsay, so let me extract that. We want to make sure, this is the district attorney, we want to make sure that we reach 35 years by steady drilling in the information on from obtaining information from a blurred video. Hi, Purple Purple. He already done said it's not alleged. I did it. But however, what would have minimized the amount of years that the juror comes back with, in my opinion, was since he stated that he needed to definitely come on this stand and give his account to why, what made you feel, and who did this to you. And he needed to give he needed to give his confession, and part of the confession will also show the empathy to the courts. I think that it would have satisfied that. I do. But however, since there was no video clear enough for the juror to actually receive these details that would have bagged up Carmelo's story, all they had was what all they had to rely on was what the prosecutors was drilling in them. It was just murder. It's just murder. Murder, murder, murder. And I was like, what the fuck? So by them not having that, the video clear enough, right? The juror definitely should have been able to make a lesser sentence for him, and found him either under the self-defense or whatever, the stand your grounds, because I'm hearing now that Texas do have your stand your grounds, right? And or the manslaughter. Okay, that's just about murder. No, not at all. No, no murder. Not at all. I'm sorry, Jason, you're gonna have to come back because that is not what I'm doing. And you were in here the last time I came on and you asked me about a Rashonda Landfair book. Her book, they book, his book, our book. A book ain't about to get R. Kelly out of jail. Okay? It's just not gonna happen. And it's time to face up to reality, Jason. So when you want to put something in here, put some more realistic shit up in here. Because you and I both know ain't a goddamn book, no matter how many times, whether you read it 3,000 times, ain't going to free R. Kelly. A book ain't going to free him. Exactly, TSW. But this is where now you're hearing all of the egregious noise out here from everybody because it should have been on the table. So what was done behind the scenes for them, this prosecutors and the judge and all, what did y'all do? What was said? What was the instructions to the juror? What was the instructions? Because this was, yeah, it was crazy. So the white boy who stabbed a Hispanic classmate got 10 years for criminal negligent homicide. Yeah, yeah. They have been laying out so many different scenarios. And this is what has, in my opinion, has a lot of the black people so upset. How does this work for this over here? But then it's the same situation, a death, a night, but it doesn't work for this. Now, on that debating show last night, I can tell you that one of the guys on that panel, right, and he was literally controlling this panel, right, because um, I'm just hold that thought for a second, but no, I'm gonna bring it in. When I when I this is my analysis of very smart people, like overly smart people. I think overly smart people are the most, what do you call them? What do you call it? Dummy smart. That's how I look at all wanna be fucking smart ass people. Because they so overly smart. To me, they overly think things. They overly think it. They say things to distract you from your opinion of things where you you're dead on track with something, but this is how they work. But this, oh my God, he was so freaking irritating. It's like, let me keep talking to make you change my mind so that you can agree to what I'm saying. I don't like these. I don't like them. I don't deal with them. So get the fuck on. Because you know what you're doing. That just says a sign of manipulation and all this stuff, because they got to look and be the smartest out the fucking batch. And it's just so fucking irritated, though. But I, these people are pushing for an investigation on this judge and this district attorneys. They're pushing hard out there. That who, like I say, I've seen this Dr. Matthews lady twice. She went out to subsidizing homes where the apartments were in disarray. She went out to help these black families that was living in disgust under, just because these were Section 8 apartments and stuff. Now, whatever happened behind it, I don't know, because I was like, oh, but I'm just saying, I'm making a point, like, that's when I first became known of who a Dr. Mathers was. I seen her out there, and she must be from Texas, because she always wears her cowboy boots, or her cowboy hat, her hat that kind of signifies, that's Texas down there, because that's how they dress. But what is it that she's gonna do? Charleston White says he's dropping out. He's pulling the money back. He feels like that Carmelo's dad is just only in it for the money. Well, when Charleston White comes out to say that, um, it kind of damages the help that a lot of other black people are out here pushing in their work to do. It really damages it. So I'm saying, I'm like, Charleston, what are you doing? I, it's okay if he pulls back the funds to support um, Carmelo in his appeal. What was not okay was, you have about 80% of these black Americans out here pushing in the favor for Carmelo now. But now here you come, which I just think that he could have did it in silence and just remove himself. Sometimes you got to remove yourself in silence and let everything else flow on up the river. So because he surely now made it appear as if the white people were right, not as far as detailing that there was no bullying, not like that, but he did make it seem, this is how I took it, like the family is just full of crap now. The family just full of crap. And then it's like, no. So I was like, oh my God. When is it that we can ever find a place to see my tattoo? Shut the fuck up. He could have just faded away silently. You said 50 Cent stated yesterday that he was going to cover all of his legal fees until he is free. Now, that's what's up. That's what's up. But like I said, you have Charleston White, who makes a decision that no, because he asked him. Well, what's going to happen to the rest of the money? Charleston White took that as an indication that he was saying, "Well, if there's money left over, do we?" No, he did ask him. He says, well, do we get it? And Charleston White could have just simply said, well, no, if there's anything left over, which it probably shouldn't be, because if you raised $1 million, that's pretty much what this case is probably going to cost them, with all of the experts that may need to be hired and brought into the freaking case, right? But so I was like, oh, as I was scratching my head, no, Charles White, no, 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 no. Just call them up and say, hey, we're removing ourselves. We wish you the best of luck out there. Money will be getting returned back to the appropriate person who donated or something like that. But don't put out here the notion now that, well, the family, isn't that good, isn't good because they're asking about monies that's going to be left over. I didn't like I didn't like it. You got a lot of people out here fighting now. Don't do that. Let's see where it would go with the other people that's fighting. And then it was like, well, I don't have no problems with um what's his name, with the twins, with Austin and Hunter's dad. He's like, I don't have any problems with them. I ain't see my camera. I'm looking at a smudge. Oh, there we go. See, that's better. Yeah, exactly. What the father did, I know, but did you hear it? Like it shouldn't have been taken that away. So, in other words, I guess you're right because you can look at it like, okay, well, he's just saying, go find your money from someone else. I'm bailing out of this. You know, yeah, that's true too, Harlem. He doesn't, but I think that is something that you still would want to do, especially, I like to see the mom, the parents, involved when making decisions. But however, though, Harlem, he's behind, he's incarcerated now. So he's going to have to go through somebody. There's not a lot, there's not too much that you can do incarcerated by yourself. You have to have some people, working for you on the outside. The exact TSW, I didn't like it. So it kind of makes me look like it, look at Charleston White like question that. Okay, well, is this for the views? Is this for more notary? Is this for more debate? Arguments out here on panels? Is because they're going to share it. They're going to share it. And then now what it does to me, it takes some of the focus off the people out here that is sharing things that they heard from inside the court, or things like that, right? And now everybody's arguing and talking about what Charleston White had said. Oh my God, Jason, I'm really trying with you. I'm really trying, and I like you, Jason. I am really, really trying so fucking hard with you. I really am. But anyhow, let me just relax. I know you don't mean no harm. I know you don't, Jason. But I really wish, I would like to see you involved in the conversations that's going on. I really do. I do. But you never do. You start with all of this other stuff. Jesus Christ. That's that's all I be asking him to do. That's it. He will never join in. And I don't be wanting I don't want to block him. Cause he's been around so long. But he never could get on topic. I don't want to talk about that. It's been talked about 1,000 trillion times, period. You sat, you listened to the paperwork, you done heard all about the Dolphin Hotel and this or that, the text messages, you done heard it all. Jason, you've heard it all. Nothing's changed from that. What's changed from it? My God. Who's going to listen to it? Huh? Who's going to listen to it? Go get Judge Ann Donnelly. See if she wants to hear about all that. Because that's where it's going to matter at. Not amongst us. We didn't heard it. Go find you an official that's going to sit here and listen to everything you want to talk about Alice Clary and Azarel and R. Kelly. Go get them. I'll give you and that official a platform to do so on. I promise you. It could be you and whatever official of your choice. I'll let y'all sit up there and talk all day if y'all want to. Right? I promise. I promise. I promise. Woo. I know, Harlem. I'm like, oh my God. But I don't, you know, we'll all keep watching this. I'm interested in seeing how this is going to work out, but he's going to be sitting for a little bit until, you know, till things turn around. I'm hoping also with all of these people that has gotten involved. Hey, you know I see you. What's going on, Bezos? How are you? How are you, hon? Right, so all these people that get involved, you know, I always hear them say, well, what's next? Well, what's next? You know, everybody says that. Well, what's next? What's next is to get off of these computers, get off of your YouTube stream, and go line up where it freaking matters and put something together as big as the Million Man March and go do your demanding to the appellate courts or Washington, D.C. Walk all around that darn thing. We'll get close to that gate over there. And then make some noise. Demand some things be readdressed. It's all about demand. I watch so many channels on this, right? Some ain't gonna have time. Some is working. The internet is more convenient. Brings in the views. Brings in the donations and everything, right? But they don't hear you. They don't hear these people. They don't hear. Huh. Dubosky is off, I think, for a little while. Off of YouTube for a little while, Jason. So they got his channel taken down. So exactly. But that's what we all do, though, Harlem. I watch it to get different perspectives. Okay, well, let me see what this person's saying. Let me see what this person's saying. Let me see what this debate has been about. When I tell you that they have literally been in debates and what's not acceptable in debates is when you get off of the subject at hand and start arguing amongst each other and doing the name calling. I have no interest anymore most of the time to watching it unless they are doing it in a matter of kind of roasting and then they laughing with it. But if I don't hear the laughter with the personal jokes and stuff like, It's real. I don't watch it. I don't care to watch it. And then I'll come back later on to see if you're done. There should be no way in hell that someone else's situation has caused you and I to be heated up where we want to harm each other because of different views of the situation. It pisses me off. That's why I kept saying, when with the community over here. That's why I ain't go. Open to go out, do that shit. But if we ain't continue to argue about whatever this penal law, penal code is, or whatever this is, why are we? Who? No, I just can't. I don't have the energy for that. They are on fire, faces everywhere. You can't turn on you can't turn on YouTube when it's not going to be there. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. Yeah. So I do they do that though, phases, because the person absolutely want to be right based on their analysis, their opinion, their what? They just gotta be right. Why can't you just say, well, oh, well, okay, well, I'll look that up. And if the person can't show you where they're bringing, the information behind what we're arguing about, then the arguing should cease. It should really, like, let's chill on it. I don't have it. Yeah. But baby, it's not like that. How is it that someone else's case causes animosity if they were physically around each other, could possibly cause someone getting beat up or killed again? How does it reach the out? But like adults, that's the key word too. Adults. How? When do you stop and say, wait a minute, hell, we done made this all about us? But there's another flip side to it, though. There's another flip side, though, Faith. When you seeing all of that, right? And I'm not saying that it is manufactured. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it depends on whose show it is as well. Because if you are seeing this popping off, knowing that it has absolutely now nothing to do with what your subject was, it becomes the views now. That content creator got people running and popping and popping and popping and popping up in there. Now they don't care because the algorithm also calculates your views. And these people know this. So why in the hell would they stop an argument? Hi, Maurice. How are you? You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't care. No good goddamn well they off the damn subject. In here arguing on a whole different perspectives, different views, different opinions, different. What the hell? What y'all just spent? I was sitting here saying to myself, cause watching this debate, y'all, I see this debate. But when y'all get done doing what you're doing to each other, that's good. Good to hear. Carmelo is headed still to the penitentiary. They been turn the bus around, bring it back, or I'm talking about bus because I watch a lot of Western movies. And you be seeing they take them on the bus, right? To penitentiary. I don't know if they take them on the bus or not. I know with R. Kelly say I think they drove. I don't know if the casino doesn't fly, so it's different ways, right? However, right. And that's not gonna. It's not gonna free him. It's not gonna let him out. But if you would continue to keep putting out the information based on your opinions or the penal codes and the violations of the statutes and how they ran the court, that's going to continue to help him. That's what's going to help him. But baby, I'm like, okay, must be get the views in, because people will start running up in there like I did. I was like, oh, they're in there. But see, a person like me, it's okay for me to run up in there. I'm not about to go out here and advocate the way a lot of these people allegedly sound like they want to advocate for them. I'm just not. I'm going to do like the rest of the people that choose to do what we do, and that's pray over this situation. Pray over that once again, again and again. We just pray. We got our group of people that just pray that this type of stuff can cease. We're like, you don't want to keep waking up in the morning and click on the news and this is what you see. There is no fix for this. There's no fix for it. This is a repetitive cycle of incidents, whether if it's the R thing going on or if it's the house burglary, body breaking in, or if it's the accidents intentionally or not, or all of this is just part of life. It's just part of life. We cannot fix the inevitable. We just can't. We have no control over that. So we have to do what? What we've been taught to do. Pray. Move in silence. Move in silence. Just pray on it. Pray that you can keep traveling your life and a situation just does not occur so close to home to you. You're Jason, you're fine. I just need you to chill on, some things. That's all. That's all. Yeah, you're fine. Like I said, I would have been blocked you, but I know when it's time for me to address you too. Now because I like to have fun. I like to come in here and to have some fun and do all of that, but I just don't feel like it today. I just don't. I just really don't. I've been receiving a lot of inspiring words that has, you know, deferred me away from, and actually whew, felt good. Once again, I'm working on that again. Like I had over there, over there, So, but there was another part of it. There was another part of it. You say you miss what? You had to go listen. It's on his gram. I think was he on gram? You missed what Charleston White and I was curious what others thought about him pulling out. I, I, my opinion, which don't matter, I'm just freely giving it, is that I think because there is a war going on in support for Carmelo, that war was happening from what I can see before Charleston White jumped on board anyway. They were all those people that were already down there at that courthouse and rooting for Carmelo and screaming out things that they felt was factual, right? They were already in motion. There was nothing about a free. You didn't hear, from what I saw, a Charleston White come out here to say anything about no monies, no this or the that until after they didn't finish with the verdict. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, phases. That was after. But now to hear him after, the verdict, reach out and successfully spoke to Carmelo's dad, right? Okay, he's providing his support financially. Okay, then he says some things to the twins' dad, right? Okay, so now he's in the circle now. He's in the circle now, just in the circle. I'm like, okay, so he's helping behind the scenes. I heard Dr. Matthews and a whole bunch of other people, like, not the content creators. You don't hear shit about the content creators out here that's, monetized and delivering what they're delivering on their channels, is rightfully so. They're running, they're content creators, right? And making money. You don't hear none of them talking about how much they got on the freaking appeal. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I don't hear nobody out here asking, okay, well, how do I get in? All we know is we got the story, baby. You hear me, phases? We got the stories. We ain't talking about putting in 20. Okay, so, and it sucks though, because even through tragedy and good times, right? It's not still gonna be about that freaking money. The one thing about black folks, nobody talk about that. One thing about black folks, boy, we know how to make freaking money. It could be off of tragedy, pain, or it could be off of something good. You flip the coin. Flip the coin. It don't matter. They'll make them coins. But what I do not hear out of all of these channels that I've been watching, nobody asked, where do they send the money to help pay for this appeal? Who's appealing it? Is it the same freaking attorney, the same defense that he has? Who's appealing this? Because if he's planning on appealing it, which they say he's filing it, right? You done had hundreds of content creators that has said that Carmelo's defense was ineffective. Get rid of him. He blew the case. He didn't bring enough witnesses. He didn't have a expert witness or scientist or whatever that should be in there reviewing, phones and shit. So there has not been another name out here. There's no other name out here of any freaking attorney that is saying that they will be the one appealing his case. So who's the money going to? Who they didn't pay? Who is it going in like a little fight? I don't know, some reserver or something. Like where does it go? Does it go to like a reserver or something until they make up their mind on who will be appealing for Carmela? I did hear a lot of people trying to possibly push the Texas senator. What's her name? Her. But then you done heard the white folks come out here, and this is one guy. Oh, y'all got the man. He talked about her so bad, and I'm listening to him like, yeah, you got the nerves, and you're over here using a whole freaking AI generate for your Jasmine Crockett. Thank you, boo. Right? They talking about pushing her. A lot, people would have loved to push her, but she didn't say indefinitely on anything about, whether if she would take and appeal this boy's case. So, but the math just didn't math for me. I'm like, we appealed it already. That's what I heard on the YouTube. I heard it from the black guy who represents them, was on the channels and doing the speaking, the spokesperson or whatever, right? They know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody appeals the case, appeals it, right? And so he says that they're appealing it. Who is appealing it? Is it the same freaking attorneys that everybody just said blew his case? So that's just the question that I just have. Who appealing this? Because I ain't heard no new names for Carmela. You say Jasmine Crockett. You was thinking a few black attorneys to stand up and say, I'll take this one pro bono. Yeah. We can pray on it. We can pray on it. She knows Collin County. This is going to be an uphill battle. Yeah, I think it's going to be. Well, like I say, I don't know phases. I don't know. I don't know. I think that not that difficult to me. I get it with the utility knife. I get it where, like I said, there's consequences still behind that because somebody died. That ain't no if and buts about that. That's no different from you and I, right? And what do they tell you? And if I hit you from behind in the vehicles, in the vehicles, I am responsible for it. I don't care how fast you was going, how slow you was going, or if you meant to make a right turn and you changed your mind and oh my God, and you slammed on your brakes because you didn't want to run that red light. If I hit you from behind, I can go in there and argue all of these things that I presume that you did that caused this accident. Ain't gonna matter. I hit you from behind. I'm at fault. I'm at fault. But manslaughter should have been sufficient enough for this boy. Now, how do we determine? But I'm just guessing because I don't know nothing about all this points and the scales, which he wouldn't have had any because he ain't never been in trouble. So I'm just hypothetically speaking now that we can agree that manslaughter is being reckless. Was he reckless? Yes, he had a utility blade. Okay. However, now let's figure out what is sufficient enough under the guidelines and to determine how many years should he do. Well, you got all of these people out here that are saying that the videotape that they used in the trial was blurred, didn't show nothing, you couldn't tell nothing. There's a whole nother one, clear as hell, at the school district where multiple people have seen this videotape and can testify, whereas Carmelo was being bullied. Carmelo was fighting for his life based on these people building a C-shaped form around him so that he couldn't get away, or and Hunter was, or what is it, Austin, one of them, pulling him by his sweater, and he felt trapped in, he got to get out of it, and blah blah blah. Then yes, I agree. I agree. Okay, if we can't agree to a 10-month probation just to let him out, I agree. I'm like, no, 3 to 5. 3 to 5. But all because you had the DA coming in there drilling over and over and over and over to the juror without the visual of the actual school district tape to see the whole entire story play out the way that these people are telling it out here in full details, because they didn't have that. They relied, and the judge allowed it, for them to stand up there and tell some presumption things. Well, this was, and we assume, and as you can see, well, and that could be karma. Oh no, you can't see ghosts. You just can't see ghosts. So, with that being said, since we don't have that, which the judge probably should have not allowed it, you could have easily gotten this boy either manslaughter, self-defense, the stand your ground. Well, we couldn't do the self-defense because there was no tape, or they just did not allow that video that these people are talking about that was at the school district to play in. They needed that. Why didn't his defense present that? Now, I asked that question because that question was asked around these channels out here. And I read someone putting in there, which, these are just characters in the comments, that it wasn't allowed. It wasn't allowed. What do you mean it wasn't allowed? You mean this boy was not allowed to build his defense? You mean to tell me that his defense team just went on and on? And man, I'd have had to be held in contempt as a defense attorney. You got to be out your mind. You mean to tell me that Carmelo attorney just allowed his morals to be snatched from him by a freaking judge, or being involved or knowing the freaking, well, everybody knows the district attorneys when you're a defense. They all, like they say, they all go golfing, right? They all get off and go have a few drinks and shit together, right? So, they know that. But you mean to tell me that you just gave up your balls because you wanted to keep a job and watch a young man at 17, 18, now turning 19, do 35 goddamn years? Nah. So he will reap what he sow. All you spiritual people knows how this work out here, right? I'm a sole believer in people reaping what they sow. It just, when they reap it, it just looks different to, we don't, they don't know, but we knows what it looks like. And it can be repped in all kind of freaking ways. Your house can burn down. Huh? Your dog can die on you. Anything that makes you feel emotionally distraught. Mm, mm. Got symbols, oh yeah, oh yeah. When they get to complaining to you about, oh my God, I got a $2,000 light bill, you got it because you probably fucked up your money. When they get to complaining to you about, oh no, they but been healthy 2 weeks ago. Healthy 2 weeks ago, but now they back hurt. Now it's summer. Oh, you reaping it. Oh, you comes in all type of God. You reaping it. A lot of people don't recognize that, A lot of people don't recognize that. So, but I'm Phases, we're seeing the same thing. Harlem, we all, and the majority out here is seeing that, come on, man, Slaughter would have been, established. Established. Falls under the umbrella of being reckless. And reckless, whether if we would like to make it sound good on behalf of Carmelo, knowing that he probably had been dealing with altercations at different times with these guys, and he felt somewhere safe, or that he felt not only just safe, that you know what, I'm going to protect myself and put a utility knife in my backpack, right? And that may be very much so true, right? However, it was taken to attract me. It was taken to attract me. We can say and yell all day that maybe he forgot that it was in there, and all of that. But the minute that it was pulled out to defend himself and he used it, it falls up under being reckless. That's how I look at it. It's no different where they charge, like y'all say, there's plenty of people out here, whatever, that can get charged with firing off a pow, And if it was accidental, it was accidental. And you got a lot of people reckless. You were being reckless with this freaking weapon. So, yeah, shit happens, but I just want to know. Let me go back up because I saw Sir Miguel type in. I was wondering about something about the defense. And he says that the defense who rep Carmelo represented a Caucasian who unalived her boyfriend. in Colon County received 10 months. So, with all of these similarities of killing, right, going on, that there sure shows that there has to be a pattern of some type of corrupted county down there. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. And so now everybody asks themselves, though, why Carmelo, though? Why he was the chosen one? Why? Ash says that he took the knife with some kind of intent. Then, regardless, two young men's lives ended. That's that. The intent. Let me answer that. Let me respond to the intent of it. The intent could very well be that there was something, once again, going on amongst these boys prior to this track meet. Eddie may have sounded like he was a ringleader in it. Eddie, to me, comes off to where he's calling, he's texting, he's the one that going, good man. Carmelo over here doing so and so, man, and over here then speaking to Hunter or Austin, right? Listen, man, then back that's how Eddie comes off to me, the master of creating confusion with throwing his rock and hiding his hand, especially after I hear this Eddie on the stand trying to convince the juror based on some questions that the defense asked that, oh no, here we not like, we're not friends. I mean, we some, I mean, but do you know him? Well, yeah, from around the way. You from around the way. Oh, there, young stud. Well, if you would take a look at this apparently shows that you were somewhere a friendship to them. He's been over here. Now Eddie comes back. Well, no, he was just liking the girlfriend and the girlfriend and the girlfriend. When I tell you that Eddie should have been told to step down or go sit your butt down because we're getting ready to charge you with perjury. Now, if Eddie is lying, and I totally agree with the young lady that was on her channel, right? And they end up bringing in the forensic or the people that's going to scrub Eddie's phone. Or no, that wasn't Eddie. Maybe it was Eddie. With the other guy who said that he wasn't filming, but he was, he started to, but he didn't. If there is any videos in that boy's phone, which they still should have, right? Or maybe they've given the phones back to the guys now. Maybe they got all their phones back. The case is temporary over until the appeal process happens, right? But I'm just saying, if they have his phone still in custody, right? And they scrub his phone and it comes back that he was recording what the altercation, right? What do y'all think should happen to him? You think he should go to jail? I think that maybe his how old is he? 18, 19-year-old ass should go sit his ass up in a jail for about maybe 60 days. Put his ass on timeout for lying on the stand. Eddie was closer to Austin. He thought of him as a brother. So he wasn't close to Carmelo. They just kind of knew each other with the girl being involved. But he still sat up there and said that, no, he's not, friends or so to Eddie. I'm getting hungry. I ain't ate. I had a little salad this morning, but I'm getting hungry. Isn't that crazy? Weird. So I don't know, but they better hope that what was it? So then the coach is involved, and he went and said some things that wasn't true. I think they asked him, who gave Austin and Hunter You want some skirt? Cause I want me a salad. I want to eat some more. I want to eat some more, but um, them permission to oversee the tent. And one of them boys went up there and said somebody wasn't raining. Like it. Then you had some more people saying that it was raining. I don't know. But you know what? Since we at it, let's just listen to a little bit of this lady who was telling about the some of her details on what she saw on the video. Uh, Cause I just you mean to tell me that this exists? This actually exists. What she was saying. You know, I was shocked. Yeah, I was like, what? The school district? So now they're gonna have to have the school district people who were in charge of these videos, right? On the stand. The people need to be on the stand. But the first question that I'll be asking, like, well, who told y'all to not do X, Y, and Z with this video? I want to know that. I want to know that. I don't care what y'all say. Who told y'all that? But yet then, it was held on, and people start putting in their requests to see the information, and it exists. It exists. Oh my God. Oh my. I'm like, what? You can't be serious about this. But this is no cap TV activity with Freezy, right? This is where I heard this young lady at. Okay? But let me go back because I just want to hear her. When he brought up the Lakeisha and everybody else that, wants to give their perspective on it, I did not watch that because, like I said, you could go back and forth on this stuff all day, every day, every day. I'm like, wait a minute, it's too much. When you start consuming so much of it, it start to sound like Spanish or something. I'm like, wait a minute, too many people. Then I think that if the main person has said it, I always feel like let's not run too much content behind what the person said. Just play her words because you're going to miss something, you're going to change up something, you're going to give your opinion, you're going to start developing about 1,000 more questions on what the person said. I'm like, wait a minute. But let me see. It shouldn't be no striking the channels, right? They want to get all this information out. That's how I be looking at it when I play, somebody else's content. Now, if you're serious about sharing this so that we can become informative about it and or educated about it, because they talk about some of the penal codes and the statute, all that stuff, then it should be okay to share. Just not the whole freaking content. But come on, let me get to it. I was like, what? And she sounds so sincere. Her name, she goes by Kyra. She goes by Kyra. Let me see if I could get her to talk because he's got to warm up the chat as everybody does. So I salute to that. Got to get the people engaged. Okay, so
I could only see that section. But over on the left hand section of the canopy, you could tell that it was
maybe
full
I
of other
went too
kids because you
far.
could kind of see their arms, you could see them moving, so you knew that the other.
Now, like I said, how do the outside people who got to see this video from the school district, but they didn't use this up inside of the trial? They didn't have a witness on the stand giving these details, laying them out just like this for the defense to the juror on the stand. Where were they? Where was this videotape at, y'all?
clear. It wasn't this grainy video, blurry video that they saying that they couldn't hardly make out in court.
No. Anything that I was kind of looking at, you could make out everything. You know, you could see people moving around. You could see people.
So
How?
that was Carmelo Anthony.
Oh yes, sir. And then
This was shocking to me. Along with the first guy who came on, I don't know if y'all remember him. Oh, I got a bad bruise on my leg. Let me show y'all this guy. He was the first one, right? Him. So he was the first one. His story now aligns with hers about seeing a very clear visual detailing of bullying. Hi, Trees. Make it, man. How? How is this where now you have the people on the outside saying that they saw this video in great details? They're telling. I mean, frame from frame, inch to inch, corner to corner, but it wasn't up in the court in the favor to help with what Carmelo's Anthony team started with, deep self-defense. Self-defense. Because had this tape played in, he would have definitely been on the right track on defending his client. He would have been on the right track. They right, it's a lot of questions, but let's hear her
like I said,
details.
and Michelle, she also let us know that when we first got there.
Okay.
But yes, you could see him. You could see him in a gray hoodie. You could see him looking down. He was probably about on row 5 or 6, setting up in the bleacher, and he was kind of setting over. Me looking at it, he would have been to the right corner of the canopy, but of course, him sitting there, it would have been the left corner.
So it came out that he wasn't even all the way up under the tent. It was almost like he was halfway under, halfway out, whatever.
Right. Like maybe if the wind was blowing with the rain, of course, the rain would have been hitting his back.
Okay. So he was minding his business, looking at his phone, and by that time he had already probably dapped up the friend that he knew that went to Memorial.
Right. They had to already do that because, like I said, he was already sitting there when the video came out.
Okay.
So, and then they also had like part of the canopy cut off. So it's kind of like you could only see the right section. Of me viewing it, it would have been the right section. I could only see that section. But over on the left-hand section of the canopy, you could tell that it was full of other kids because you could kind of see their arms. You could see them moving. So you knew that the other section of the canopy was full of students. But you just could.
Again, she is detailing a videotape that she got permission based upon her request from to the school district, who had a video that showed clear as I don't know what, and that wasn't in that boy's trial. The defense mean to tell me that this tape wasn't mentioned to his defense team, or the defense team didn't put out an investigator to go and see if the school district had a video. I'm tired of holding this phone too, y'all. I don't know where my thing is, but listen, it's MIA. I'm tired of holding that, so I'm gonna have to just chill with y'all on the sofa. We calling this chill on the sofa day. We just chilling on the sofa. This is insane. This is insane. They had no investigators. Carmelo's team had no investigators out there looking for this. Looking for this. We can, I guess I can say, and as I'm listening to the people, they ran out of money. They had no money. At what point do we need to have a whole bunch of money for right people to do the right things? At what point do you need to have a whole bunch of money to pay somebody to just stand up and go and do the right things. Just go do it. We don't have to be paid for every single thing that you think that you need to be paid for. Do a kind act. Stand up for the right reasons and leave the fucking wrong reasons alone. Your life will be so much better. So much better. I could not believe this. I could not believe this. Now the case over. The people who actually have requested and seen a more visual tape to describe to the freaking public out here these details about what was going on amongst these boys does define bullying. It was definitely bullying. But see, that's not how your counterparts are going to see it, just like that Megyn Kelly lady. All she sees is there was a knife and somebody died. And that is all the hell that she's going to push, just like them damn prosecutors did. Murder, 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 murder. What led up to this freaking murder is what's missing. It was missing in the court of law. Why? The judge is the one with the freaking degrees and all of this law studying and this or that. He didn't ask that question. Nobody asked him. The judge should have stopped that. Well, wait a minute. What led up to this? Had to be something that led up to it, because evidence does show that this boy didn't hatch out of a goddamn egg yesterday or the day before or the day before and declared craziness. Nope, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I believe. Chill. No, it's going to come in threes. So just wait for it. Chill. Second one. It's gonna come. Why do they come in threes? Just like death. I don't know. Why do we sneeze in threes? That's the second one. Now the third one is on the delay right now. Okay. But that's some crazy shit. Thank you, Serena Love. That's some crazy shit. How does all of these people out here knows all of this stuff? Why isn't Megyn Kelly visiting and putting her name on the requested list to the school district to see the actual tape, where she can see the details? So at least she can make a little argument about, well, yeah, okay, I see the boys around them. Yeah, okay, yeah, Carmella is sitting at the bottom of the bleach. Yeah, I blent the bitch. I can see Austin, coming down the stairs, charging at him. Yeah, I can see where he's grabbing his hoodie. Why won't they do that? Why won't they do that? As a matter of fact, why haven't Hunter and Austin dad reviewed the tape and talked about it, or his mom? I think it's very important. I think that this is a tape that they might want to go see. I do. This is how I feel about it, especially if you got these people out here now. You think that those people at the school district still have a job? You think maybe that they down there now with crosses and shit on fire in their front yard? You think that those people are down there bombing or throwing shit through their front windows and stalking their children and shit? Hell, is the goddamn school district still standing? That's a good question, because if they sat out here and allow for people to come in and see a more visual tape that shows differently than the tellings of what went on in that courtroom, it's a problem. Let me see what else she said. Oh, what did I do?
No business on his looking at his phone. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can go from there. Go ahead and go from there.
Okay, so like I say, he was sitting there for probably about I'm going to say good 7 or 8 minutes before this group of boys did end up coming through the main gate. And when I say the main gate, all the way to the far right of the screen would be like a medical facility. I guess that's kind of where they go in there if they have injuries or something like that. So over to the side of that facility would be like the main gate. And on that main gate, when they come in, they walk down the platform of the bleachers, until they decide when they want to walk.
This is what the defense should have been putting out to the jury. This is what they should have been putting out. It almost felt like the defense didn't give the prosecutors nothing to argue about. No, the prosecutors didn't give his defense nothing to argue about because he didn't object to anything. He didn't make, according to the transcripts that I listened to, he didn't put up a big fuss about, or did he? Maybe I should say that too. Or did he? And the judge shut it down. The judge was like, that's not where we're going with that. It's not where we're going with that. I also heard, and it's in the transcript, where the judge did mention that you will find him guilty. Now, I mentioned that, and it gets taken out of context and put into what would be considered as contextual language based on the law. I'm not an attorney. I just have common sense. I know what I heard. And I heard, and I read, I just ain't went and pulled it again and put it up because I ain't trying to go there with that back and forth on that. If you said it, you said it. And if I said it, I said it. And I said what the fuck I said. It is what it is. Right? That same shit was put in R. Kelly's paperwork. It did put, Judge Ann Donnelly put that in R. Kelly's paperwork saying off the front of this shit before his trial really got going, right? Says, yeah, you will do 30 years indefinitely. You're going to hear it differently if you go search for it. Because somebody else wants to tell you what the fuck I said, what the fuck I meant, and it don't go that way, and you can go to fuck her. That's how I feel about that. However, here I also heard the same thing, where in the transcript, it's written in there, where you have this Judge Roach had already mentioned that, you will find him guilty. Can a judge even do that? Can a judge even do that? Like, can a judge even do that? I don't know. I'm not a in and out of the courtroom person. I don't do bad shit that lands me up in there. I just, But if I was in the shoes of Carmelo and the way that these individuals who got permission to come in to see a more visual detailing video, and if I put myself in those shoes and it's playing out like Carmelo, and I got a C shape formed around me, 5 or 6 goddamn females, somebody getting that work. I don't give a fuck. Somebody getting that work. Listen, Bruce Lee on your ass. Because at the heat of the moment, what are we thinking? It's either going to be me or you. But somewhere, and I like their argument, I don't know if it was, I think it might have been Taz or somebody over there on the panel, right, made an argument. Where does it say that? Because you fight me with a history book that I got to fight you with an English book. Where the fuck did I say that at? Where is that written at? That's how the twins' dad made it appear. Well, if you throw a shoe at me, she throwing her shoes at me, she throwing her shoes at me, I got to pick up a shoe and fight you back. You might get a lamp upside your head. Who says, where is the rule at that says that you have to fight back with what is given to you? Now, most of us does that amongst profanity. You can start your argument. Okay, you want to cuss. Y'all know we done it. All outside and everywhere. You a bitch, you a bitch. Okay, now we fight. You a bitch, you a bitch. I'll fuck you. F you, F you. Okay, we fight. until we get so freaking exhausted from using the words B's and MFs, and eventually some family member will come along and okay, you go your way and you go to, and then you just stay mad at each other. But that doesn't work for everybody. We all react differently, especially the younger we are. The only times we make those conscious decisions like that is when we've gotten older. We too goddamn old and fucking tired to be doing. Go fight your goddamn self. And who the fuck wants to go to jail at the age of fucking 50 to do 35 fucking years anyway? Who? Some people do, some people don't. But I'm just saying. But let me finish listening to this girl.
Look,
No.
so Carmelo would have been sitting probably around about at the, I'm gonna say maybe around about the 42, 43 yard line, somewhere in there is where that canopy was set up. So there were different groups of kids coming through. So at first we just really wasn't sure which one was that group because, like I said, we kind of thought a few groups might have been them. But of course, those groups didn't go to the canopy. But one thing that I did notice before that group was
Now, you know, if she would have been the one in there to testify, and now it's time for prosecutors to cross-examine. First thing they're going to ask her, well, where were you? Where were you standing at? What time did you arrive? What were you wearing? Who did you arrive with? And you say that they were over so-and-so. Well, are you sure you're on so-and-so? Well, how, if you came in on the north end of the field, did you see this stuff going down? This is how they do. They want to start bucking with your head. When you already done said what the fuck you said. The prosecutors double back down on your ass and have your ass second guessing. Well, did I come in from the north? No, I came in. Why are you switching up my question? This is how they do. So when you go taking that stand up there, you got to be on your A game. Their job is to make it appear to the fucking juror to catch you up in your lies all day, every day. So you got to be on your P's and Q's when you're telling your story. Yeah, write that shit down all up your arm. Have your notes. Some goddamn well, like I keep mine right here. Shut the fuck up. Shh. Nobody will hear that shit. But I'm just saying.
A kid walked up to the canopy and he turned. And when he turned, his body was facing the home bleachers. But he was standing on side of the canopy to where it looked like he would have been saying something to Carmelo. And it was brief because when he walked up, a small kid in a yellow raincoat. They walked up pretty much, I'm not going to say with him, but they walked up around the same time. But the kid sat at the very, very bottom row. And I always thought that the one in the yellow raincoat was a small kid because their demeanor was just different than a teenager. They kind of were moving a little.
I do have to say this, because this does seem a little bit, questionable to me. Because she was saying that, and y'all correct me too, because maybe I'm missing a little something, that these two guys, was Carmelo already walking over to, I'm going to have to rewind this, to the bleachers, I guess, already, because it's about the rain. It's about the storm out there. So he's walking over there. But then that she says that she saw, on the tape, because we're talking about the tape, where the two guys or three was coming in from these entryways or whatever, and they ended up behind him and going into formation. Okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate. Now I'm like, normally you can feel people walking behind you. Or were they quiet? This is prosecutors, right? Well, they must have been quiet. They must have been saying a noise. They weren't doing this. She's going to ask them, well, what did they have on? How tall were they? This is prosecutor work. So then you mean tell me, when did Carmelo, I'm just wondering, Carmelo, did he ever turn around? Did he ever turn around to notice that, okay, well, this is unusual. Why are, the people, looking suspicious? Because, did he look around, see what was suspicious with him? Or did he look around and didn't think nothing of it because they were there all for track meet and he was proceeding to get out of the rain? I'm just saying, be argument.
different. They just seem young to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that kid sat at the bottom row, and then the one boy, he walked up and he stood on side where Carmelo was sitting. He only stayed there briefly for maybe about 5 to 7 seconds. And then it seemed like he walked off briskly, like, you know, he was headed to go do something. So that young man, he walked off and he went in the direction that the group came from. So this is just an assumption, and this is just what I think. I almost feel like that was Hunter, and I feel like he went and got the other group. Or if that wasn't Hunter, I feel like that person left and went and got the other kid. And the reason I say that was because of the way that they approached. So that kid walks off, and I'm gonna say maybe about 3 minutes later, that's when we see this group come through this main gate. As they come through the gate, what for sure at that point that was them. If you've ever seen somebody kind of like amped up, you know, you kind of see them talking, moving their hands in the air, like, hey, I'm finna go do this. You know, you kind of see their hands moving in the air. And then 1 or 2 of the boys that was at the back even did a light jog, like, you know, they were trying to get there. So once they did,
so how many people do you think was going
in that group?
Yeah, in the group, moving briskly towards Carmelo?
It was honestly more than the 4 that approached. I'm going to say maybe about 6.
6
I want to say right. One of the boys,
and that's, you know, hey, Berber,
yeah,
that's the part. Like, you know, I'm like, did Carmelo turn around? Did he notice that before he went to sit down and make it to the tent to sit down? That, hey, wait a minute, okay, what's going on? You know, he had. You feel some suspicious of your surroundings, people surrounding you. You will feel that, like, this is uncomfortable. What's going on? But yet then, it's raining. So I'm trying to get out the rain on his mind, possibly. And then he's got probably the feeling that something ain't right here. Something's up here. Some ain't sitting well. Maybe this would give a good reason as to her details as to why he just kind of sat there right at the, you know, the edge of it and didn't make it up further on that platform. He on the bleachers. He kind of just took that first seating kind of there. He didn't go up any further. So maybe it's that. I don't know, but you and I would probably handle it a little bit differently because we're a lot older, right? And I know if I'm walking in somewhere and I might have had an altercation or so a month ago or, 2 weeks ago, and I'm starting to notice out there, Felicia and Felicia now got Maria and Tammy and so now I'm on high alert. I'm on high alert, right? I'm going to still continue to proceed going where I'm going, but I'm on high alert. God damn it, what's up? Because all of a sudden, now what? Now they are, picking up a little pace behind me. Okay, guess what? I got Blade in my pocket. I got Blade, I got Mace, and I know they say that Mace got now some shit in there that could be illegal, but then they don't sell the shit in the store. Cause that's where the hell I bought it from. Out the goddamn store. If it's illegal, don't have it in there. Okay? So now I'm getting to where I'm going. I had to make a stop at Dollar General, y'all. Go up in there, I come back out. Tammy, Felicia, they all still out there, right? Now I'm headed back, getting ready to walk home. All of a sudden, I'm pinned in. Remember that so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. We ain't even about to talk about it because, yes, the fuck I do remember. I remember you got your ass whooped on that one. So I guess we about to roll again. But like I described to you guys in the last goddamn example of it, I'm pulling, I'm swinging, I'm slicing, I'm dicing, and I'm spraying. Tammy dies. Is it manslaughter? Is it manslaughter? Well, the first thing y'all gonna go do to prove my case is to go pull all of those freaking videos along my path, knock on doors, go in Dollar General, and yes, you should be able to prove that now. I was defending myself from being pinned in from a bunch of bullies. Why did his defense not have this video rolling in that courtroom is a golden question. It's a golden question. Were these people prohibited from even making it known that this video existed? Or did they not know that it captured so much detailing information on it to prove Carmelo's self-defense argument? Which one was it?
And then I think one kind of walked past the canopy, like maybe went on past and went up, but he did not. It was only 4 out of that group that did walk up. And when I say walk up, I'm really going to say run up. You know, I'm
like
I'm
doom.
gonna get
Y'all
up.
know
So
how we
I
run
would
up
say
them
they ran
bleachers.
up on him. Like if
Doom.
you've ever been in a situation and you've been ambushed,
So he
it was
never
kinda like
went
they
up
ran
the
up on him not to
stairs.
give him enough time really to see them coming. So they kind of ran up the steps and they basically got right in front of him. The one that was Austin.
So before you keep going, when you said they ran up, you could tell the way they was approaching these people, this group of people, up to 6 people, 4 to 6 people. The way they approached Carmelo, it was almost in an aggressive way or urgent way.
Oh, it was. Most definitely it was.
Okay.
And like I say, it was only 4 that did run up to him. But like I said, one broke off before, and I think one went on past and maybe went up in the bleachers. But as far as going and surrounding Carmelo, it was 4. And they kind of like ran up the bleachers and was instantly at him. And you could also notice that the one that was Austin, as he was going up under the canopy and as he was getting closer to Carmelo, he knelt down. So he was like in Carmelo's face, like nose to nose. Like, you know, he had his face like over Carmelo's face because by the time he noticed them, they were already over him. You know, so it wasn't like he was just standing up on the row in front of him. They were basically in his foot space. So on the same row as to where his feet would have been resting is where they were standing. And of course, Austin is a tall guy. So like I said, he knelt down.
You're saying they were that close to him?
Oh, yes, sir. They were. And that's why I've always said they blocked and they hindered his movement. So it was kind of like this was planned. This was premeditated because, and it also seemed like organized crime because how do you even know as being a teenager to go and basically block off his movement because that's exactly what they done.
When you say block off his movement, I remember what you...
She said these goddamn boys was developing an organized crime, y'all. They organized this stuff. You go stand over there, you over there, you over here, you over there. We gonna pin him in. We gonna pin him in. I just cannot believe how this was not this videotape that she's describing after receiving and being permitted to see it. Wasn't used. I can't understand why all of these bigger platforms, hell, why isn't TMZ playing this? Why isn't TMZ? Why haven't TMZ in everything, right? Why haven't TMZ went and got permitted to see the video from the school district? Because by now, this should definitely been viral on a magnitude of bigger platforms so that they can weigh their options on where's the truth of self-defense or the lies. They be in everything. I haven't seen them talk about the visual from the school district at all. That's crazy. Where Meg Kelly, somebody get her a ticket. Say, go let her go and then go see the video for herself. Why haven't the parents? I heard the mom say the other day that she just said, we just want to rest on this. No, don't she want to go see the video? It should be a line out there. I ain't lying. Should be a line of people. Whole line of them. Maybe the judge. Did he see the video? Did the judge see this video? And why not? He's not. Or maybe he's seen it, but he's never going to go against what he would call integrity. He never's gonna reverse that up. Think, who in the hell do you know make all that money, dresses in a robe, and put life shame on themselves? Who's gonna take that? He's not gonna take that accountability. Like, oh, I messed this one up. Um, if he does, hopefully he would just stay behind the scenes and sign whatever has to be signed for to reverse up the order of the conviction and release him on account that you guys messed this darn boy's case up. Listen, I don't
You
know.
told me on the phone, but I don't want people to think that I'm leading you to say what
And
you
on
told
top
me.
of that, sugar honey iced tea, if the Carmelos would just sit back, hold tight, because if they're doing their appeal and they win their appeal, they gonna be fucking goddamn rich any goddamn way. You know they coming with the silver suit. They gonna sue the goddamn bat shit out of Colin County down there. They just gotta sit tight. Let it all play out. If this video is detailing what these people are out here telling the public. You think he's seen it, Trees? Ooh. But like I say, he's a judge. He's not gonna go against the grain pretty much in public. That's gonna take a lot to do. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's a judge. Now, will he do it if those content creators across the track is making noise based on these exposure of some things that went on, and as he was seated as a judge, you know what I'm talking about. I'm probably, and all the other ones, right? All that paperwork stuff they over there read. They already opening up the door for it, right? So the judge says that he don't even watch none of that stuff. He don't even know nothing about it. You ain't got to know nothing about it. Because if these people keep doing what they doing and it's getting into the right hands of where it's supposed to be, and they're sitting here saying that this judge should not have been trying this case, or possibly, allegedly, not even a judge anymore, let alone with the District 2 attorneys that was down there, then that can come back and bite him, in his ass. As far as, the shame, 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 shame. Shame, 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 shame on you. He gonna retire as soon as possible. Go home, sit in the house and hope that, it'll all boil over and everybody will forget about him. I saw one lady in the comments on, I think it was a Ticket TV. And she was like, I know him, we went to school together and all that stuff. And I'm like, he was doing all this stuff up here. Maybe she'll go have a talk with him, Trees. I don't know. But this is crazy.
When you say when you say they kind of blocked him out, what kind of shape you said they made around him? Do you remember?
So the boys were pretty much shoulder to shoulder. So Austin would have been directly in front of Carmelo, and what I assumed maybe, and I'll tell you why in a minute, why I feel like it was Hunter that would have been to Austin's left, and then from there to Austin's right was another boy, and another gentleman, and then from there to the other side of him was another one. But I want to say the one to the 4-4 right, I feel like he was a little nervous because he was kind of pacing a little bit. You kind of see him doing like a little pacing at first.
Yeah.
But I don't think so though, Trace. I heard him. If you listen to the if we're talking about the Judge Roach, right? In his interview that he just did, he did say he's retired. He says probably about 6 months, and he stated that if he had to, he don't mind doing one more murder case before he retires. So I don't think he's going to be around much longer before the heat really start to cook out here. I just don't. They're starting it. They're starting it. The exposure and stuff looks good, but he don't he would sit with his hands crossed, and so will the district attorneys, right? They will sit with their hands crossed because it's old information, 2019. The only time that they would have something to be weary about because people are exposing them is if they bring about the people that this stuff happened to. They was talking about groping and all this stuff with a bunch of women, right? And it was the white women, right? If these white women come back out and get other people strongly behind them or whatever, and they want to go through it, which they're not because they accepted a settlement now. They received the settlement pay on it, right? But we're doing the ifs. Sometimes I like playing around with the ifs, right? Because it brings us a different scenario, a way of looking at things, right? But if they decided, let's just say if they decided they did not have a settlement that they received on it, right, Tris? And all of a sudden they're seeing that their story where they actually try to bring the district attorneys into a trial to get their story out, right? And possibly land them in jail, right? Let's just say that they got these women. They come back out here. They're making all kind of noise. They got some people standing behind them now, and now they can move forward with their case. I promise you, doing this Carmelo things, they would all fucking resign. They would all goddamn it fly like an eagle, girl. They would fly like a bird. They would get the fuck on. I promise you, if that would have played out like that, right? That would have been like they got girl, they left. But because these ladies that were in this paperwork or whatever, right? And these things happen, even with the judge. It was saying that the judge done had some unlawful things done, and I think that he was charged with one or two or something, and something else got dismissed, right? They don't care. It's a small county. Who's controlling that county down there? Who's controlling it? And then wherever there is of that control, the argument, the exposure, they can keep that to a minimum until or unless the people that is making this big fuss out here now is going to pull some juice. If they got some power, if they have some more powerful connections, they might be working with something. But keep this in mind, though, Trees. We're on YouTube, and you ain't seen it yet coming from any content creator that done been out here doing the whoppity wop has made a move just like I just described to you. It ain't gonna happen. So we need to question ourselves, though, Trees. We ain't moving out there like King, Malcolm X, and all of our other ancestors. We ain't doing none of that. We done found us a lick to come up on just because we can reveal a goddamn story. And at the end of the day, guess who's hurting right now? We hurt ourselves. We hurt ourselves and we help ourselves because there is some genuine people that doesn't mind seeing your kind come up. You know what I mean? Okay, here you go. Here you go. Thanks for the story. But at the same time, I'd rather for a person like me, I'm telling you, I ain't doing shit. But I'm going to run my content. And if you wants to do $1 for Pap, that's just what it is. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. No, I ain't doing that shit no more. I learned my lesson. However, I know to tell you, I ain't got that power. I ain't got that trees. I ain't going up there to sit in the fucking White House. I ain't going. So I don't know this person. I don't know this person. And I sure in the fuck don't have 500 million goddamn dollars to just be loosely just doing. I know I have it. You understand? So, but you'll have these content creators, and I get it. I love the debates. Don't get me wrong. I love the debates. Very educational. You can take away something from that, right? And you don't really be hearing them much instead of, but these goddamn individual goddamn content creators, girl, shit. And we all want to eat. Everybody want to eat. I get it. But don't sit there and portray like you finna start some goddamn million man march again for this young boy, knowing good goddamn well you ain't. You ain't. When this story dies down, everything else is going to taper down. And guess what? In my Jay-Z voice, on to the next. We are one. They teaches us to be just one. But baby, we are our own worst enemy. I don't care who the fuck likes it. I said what the fuck I said. We would rather take for our own kind, girl, to become a millionaire. If I had it my way over here, I wish I had all damn white people up in here. I want their money. I don't want to be taken from my sisters and brothers. Go get me all the damn white people. Go get me them. I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna get. Hey, hit my damn cash. I want it from them. The fuck. You heard? I want them. I want a chat full of all damn white people. Hey, hit my cash app. Donate to the channel. Not so much from my people, but we don't have a problem doing it to our people. You know why? As we've been told now, we've been brainwashed now. Support your own. Support my own. My ass. Go bring me some of them goddamn white people over here so I can get some of theirs too. I ain't got to go and get them none of mine. I just want them to give me more of theirs over here. I'm leaving my people alone for a minute. The fuck? I'm just saying, girl, let me get the hell up off of here. I done had too much fun with you already. I don't even know you. That's crazy as hell.
You know,
I don't even know
they were pretty much
but I done
like
had too
me.
much fun with you. But I got to get off of here,
I'm a
y'all.
fighter. So the moment you would have came and got in my face like that, it was a problem.
So I remember you said that it would almost seem like they made like a C shape. That's what you told me on the phone. Like a
And they
C shape.
did. And they did. You know, and then and even at another point, you could also see a young man walk behind him as he was sitting there. So basically, he was blocked all the way around. And what made it even worse was that he couldn't even stand up. You know, and then I'm hearing, you know, reports are saying Austin didn't want to fight. Well, if you didn't, you could ask somebody something by not being in their face. So why would you and 3 others go and block him in a seat to where he can't even stand up? And then I'm hearing people say, well, he could have just ran. Well, hell, you got to be able to stand up to run.
Shout out to Keisha in the building.
No captivity.
So
That's
now,
right. You got to be.
I'm going to end this and we can recap or you can replay. I started off talking about how I kind of felt a little bit with the Charleston White message that he put out. So 1 minute it was, you know, some words to the Austin's dad. And then it went out, he came out again and he was talking about Annie up, 75,000. I'm going to help them. We're going to get this started. What y'all need, we is on this appeal. Let's pay for it. Then I just clicked on something else again that came up my thing saying that, nope, I'm out of it. I ain't helping with nothing. Seems like Carmelo's dad is only in this for the money. Or he called him a weak man. A weak man. I guess, you know, because he ain't out there with where them things at, where them boys at, you know, I'm going to pull up, pop. He ain't doing that. I mean, he wear nerdy glasses like me. He ain't going. I'm just saying, Tracy. So, you know, it's that. Well, did he, you know, was it that Austin dad words were a little too harsh? Because he said what he had to say back to Charleston White, and then that's when I see the video now where Charleston White says, well, you know, I'm pulling out of this. You too weak. You're too weak. And then you're going to turn around and ask me, well, what's going to happen to the rest of the money? So now he's insinuating that Carmelo's dad was in for this for nothing more than the freaking money, that he didn't care to you know, show or be there as much as Charleston would have liked him to position himself for his son. That's the message that I got out of it. I was like, well, okay. Then we fast forward over to telling Jason to stop typing that crap in here today and stay in tune with the conversation. Jason, I like him. I don't block him. But Today, he had to get a little checking. He did apologize. We fast forward some more. Ended up here talking about the Carmelo case where I feel we had a great minimized discussion on it, great opinions on it, great synopsis on it. And listen, we are not attorneys or lawyers over here. I can't tell you the damn penal code for pissing in the park illegal, okay? Just don't do it. It's an indecent exposure. Just cover yourself up, do something. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, we know now that there are people that was permitted in to see a more visual video, something totally different from what was shown in the court to help the defense develop self-defense case for Carmela. You got half of the people out here that is agreeing to a manslaughter. You got half of them, which is the people that is part of the Metcalf correlations on it was just murder, 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 murder. They don't agree with it. Okay? And that's what they want. Now, one story that we did not touch on, and that was about the guy, forget his name, Lang, Luke, whatever, who just got arrested, right? From being a instigator, a terrorist, what do you call it? Protests advertiser. You know, he goes around and he does all of this or whatever. Nick at Night shared that story, I believe. And you guys can catch that over there because that was kind of interesting too. Now he's in jail because he stood out there, well, yelling all of that shit about Jake Long. Thank you, boo. I love my boos in here, Trees. When I tell you with my Mac, I'm old girl. So sometimes what you want to say, it'll leave your mind for a second. And it take a minute to bring it back, but I got my girls up in here that be back. They got my back, girl. So hopefully you come through enough. You get to know my girls. They regulars up in here. And we are a small channel. And I enjoyed you popping in with us today. You are so, I am very thankful for you being here. So now you're going to have to like and subscribe to the channel because I believe you going to love you some papoose, girl. You going to love me. Now you ain't got to be here when I be cutting up, okay? Because I have my days of cutting up. But I got a feeling you've been in here before too. So the Jake Long. So apparently, let me just give us a little quick tip on it, right? It's in jail. They picked him up for standing out there saying that he, hanged this boy from a tree. And I'm funny also. Hang him from a tree. Hang him from a tree. So they picked him up. Apparently, he is sitting in there with $1 million bond. Now he's all on the phone because he must have forgot when you go to jail, nigga, when you out there doing all of that hot mouth stuff, you sure as well better be toting around somewhere or have somewhere enough money in a pillowcase to bond your ass out. But I believe that Nick and Knight put out the information about this must be some type of group thing that they got, right? What is it? The she go, the go give, the give a go, the go some shit, right? Where there's supposed to be a stash of people with the stashes of money that's raising money that helps them out of these type of situations or endorse or pays for their transportations and things for them to be able to be keeping up with this stuff. Now, it just behooves me, right? Behooves me because if this is one of the guys from the June 6th situation that occurred up there at that Capitol, then behind all of that, this was the people that the Trump also helped gave them a get out of jail free card. Okay, so but I ain't gonna go there, but I was just wondering, y'all think Trump is behind this big old give a gift, gold fund, got some, I don't know, like, what was he calling? Because he made a phone call, y'all. Knowing everything is up and they're being recorded. I don't care. When you think that it ain't, it is. They record every freaking thing that you do on those phones up in there. That he started talking about something about he got jumped or beat up or da-da-da-da or something. He need help. Send me the money. I ain't heard nobody call back and say help is on the way. I do not know. But listen, he shouldn't have stood his butt down there. As a matter of fact, guess what? The Met Cloud, the dad, and can go and get him out. He was out there doing it all for him. I ain't gonna get that man out of jail. Go place his bond. What's the 10% of a million? 100,000? I'll pay that 100,000. But this is a felony. So I don't know how that work. I told you I ain't into all that law shit or whatever. I don't know if he got to post a whole goddamn million or 100,000. Who knows? But I'm just saying, when you're out there, womp, womp, wompity womp, they be telling you, man, listen, don't write a check your ass, K-Cash. I know when I'm out there and I'm boppity bop, which I ain't out there. I'm just saying, I got to put some folded up so I can call Serena, Harlem, Beauty is me up. Listen, y'all going right on over there to the house. I need y'all to lift up some of them tiles on that roof. And you'll see a plastic bag. And come on down here and bond me out. Cause I know I'm out here talking too much shit to not have no money put up. The fuck? They don't do that. They want to talk shit and use your money off of the shit that they talk. I think that everybody who goes out here and act and behave that way, not just him. I think that, the Wild Wild West boys. I think that the people that want to walk into the store and you know that you are a booster by DNA, you know you're going to go out there and steal some shit. You know, out of 20 times you done stole something, it might be one time you're going to get caught. It's going to be your worst time. Now, why you ain't rolled up 2, 3, $20 every time you go steal some shit and put it in an envelope so you can bond your ass out, so you can stop calling on your goddamn family and your everybody. Is everybody fucking nobody come get me out? Why? You thought I was going to come and get you? Because we've been we've been friends, Trees, for what, 10 years? The fuck, all right? Listen, you better hope, Trees, your bond is stay around the 200-mile mark. Shit, I'm gonna bond you out on some shit I know you can pay me back on. Fuck, I'm gonna bond you out on $500 million a bond when I know good goddamn well you gonna break the fucking bond. We gonna lose the money and you can't pay me back. No, but that ain't gonna happen. Listen, y'all, love y'all. Man, I'm finna go back, finish my little nap here because I got to finish cleaning up. Y'all have a beautiful day. Hit the like button, share the channel. That's what it is. One Papoose. Thank you guys for coming through. Peace.